Well, well, well. Some of you guys knew this video might be coming from me. I just kind of waited. Kind of waited to see what would happen. The thing is, those that know better know better. And the questions that I have about this particular incident is why these people are being handled with tweezers. How come they weren't having the whole COINTELPRO infiltration on them? How come their groups haven't been dismantled like they did the Panthers? How come they're not being treated like Darren Sills or Eddie Crawford was, or any of those grassroots Ferguson protesters? How come they're getting a slap on the wrist? You saw these dudes go in there casually and just look through stuff, and the security guard calling them brothers and saying that he loved them and all that. Really? A black person would have not even made it to the freaking steps if they were lucky enough to even make it to the grass area. You don't see them handling them like they did a number of brothers and sisters out there protesting at all. Even with I don't see that on a mass scale. You can count even the things that did happen. But even with that, it's like you look at these people, you're not going to have them being charged for those people's deaths for like that. Everyone should have the same thing that happens to many brothers and sisters in the community if a crime goes down. Someone that has nothing to even do with that crime is going to be charged for it. What was that brother that was charged in Alabama for his friend's murder that the cops actually killed just because the guy was with him? You won't see that. We haven't seen it. How come we haven't seen it? Well, some of us know the reason why. They were trying to kill people. They had zip ties. They wanted to hang Mike Pence. They're talking about getting Nancy Pelosi. And I'm saying this, I'm just saying, isn't that something that's worthy of not only treason, but like a long time in prison? I don't see people getting that. A few of these guys have even bailed out. You tell me that they've been arrested? I don't care about the arrest because you can get arrested and basically not get anything. Where's the long, hard charges? You got a lot of brothers and sisters in jail even from the 60s that have rotted in prison. You got all kinds of stuff that have happened. But yet these guys don't get the same treatment. Yeah, we see right through you. Then you have a lot of, this is a wake-up call for those that have been trying to ignore the whole thing the whole time. They talk about law enforcement being entrenched, and that's been known. But they never did anything about it, and now it's at their front door. What are you going to do now? Will you let this country fall? I guess you can say, I say that in quotes. Because you want to handle these monsters with tweezers. Why aren't they being pursued? I'm glad the airline people at least had some sense to ban these people from flying. I don't know how they found out, but they did. Everybody that had to do with this so-called insurrection should be tracked down. And see, the thing is, they've been reminded time and time about all this stuff. Shoot, just in the last few years, the FBI put out a few reports about these white supremacists infiltrating all kinds of law enforcement. Not only that, they never did anything about the whole Confederate thing. Those guys, that should be basically like looked at as Al-Qaeda. That should be demonized, just like you do all the other groups. But yet, back in the day, they never put these people in for hard time on treason charges or other type punishments because of that. They just handled them. Oh, it's okay, No. These are the first that tried to go against the country. And that should have been done away with. Just like you dismantled the Panthers, anyone that had to do with the Confederacy or any kind of organization like that should have been dismantled. That should have been gone. That should have never even reared its head. At least we can say with Germany, they made it illegal for Nazis to run the way that they did because it left a stain on their country. But America is just still playing footsie with these people. It didn't surprise me, to be honest, because the first time that I ever heard about them even mentioning something like this was when I was younger. They said it would be 1995 back in the day. And then a year after that, you had what happened with Timothy McVeigh. And there's been all kinds of other devil supremacist terrorism going on in this country that they've been turning a blind eye to in so many different ways, whether it's in places of employment or these so-called groups or individual shooting places where people gather together up. And YouTube, let me tell you something in case somebody's watching from that. The fact that you also seem to be complicit with a lot of this, you need to be under scrutiny. You've been complicit by letting certain people run with this kind of ideology on your sites, let alone people like me speaking against that. You basically have been just trying to shadow ban. And some of you guys know what happened. I mean, shoot, I did a video about that Draca character that killed that brother for trying to protect his wife, and YouTube basically got it out. They deleted that video saying that I was bullying. Really? Me talking about a bully is bullying? Same thing with those that killed George Floyd. They said that that's bullying, talking about people that have murdered out of cold blood. So for me, even being on this platform, I'm on it. But just things like that has to be more than side-eyeing where I am. So, yeah. All these people talking about white supremacy and all that and mentioning it and stuff, but aren't dismantling it, aren't putting heavy punishment on these groups. And you guys know who they are and what they are. That doesn't mean anything to me with you just talking about it. I want to see some action taken, because if you can dismantle the Panthers the way that you did, you can do the same thing to them. We'll see what's up, y'all. But this is nothing new. There's nothing shocking as far as like knowing what these groups, they've been talking about this stuff. They should COINTELPRO everything that they're all about. And some people will say, well, even some of those guys are into that. What can we do, right? Anyway, you guys,